Hey guys, Red Lightning here with a Gold Paladin deck review right before Christmas actually. So this is a bt13 updated Gold Paladin deck. Starting unit still not everybody done well. At GB1 his skill is in Unite. Put this unit to soul, look at top 3, Superior Call 1, and then rest to deck, shuffle deck, that unit that you called gets +2. Next we'll be starting with grade 3. Next will be grade 3s. I play 2 copies of Militant Act Dragon. His skill is at Rearguard or Vanguard. Flip 1 when your G unit stride, when you're in when you have a grade 4 Vanguard. Pay the cost. If you do, put all your cards, even if they're locked in other circles, they go back to deck. Look at top 2. Top 3 actually, and you Superior Call 2 to separate rear guards. And you can put the rest in bottom in any order. Next is 3 copies of Sunrise Ray Knight Gurguit. I'm taking 2 of him out to make room for 2 more of him, because I only have 2 right now. But for right now, this is what I'm playing, because it's not a bad play, but I want to focus more on that grade 3. So this is Sunrise Ray Knight Gurguit. He does not have the Unite ability, since that wasn't there in the Night of the Sun trial deck I got these in. And his skill is GB2, flip 1, soul blast 1 at the beginning of the guard step. I look at top 4, Spirit Call 1 to Guardian Circle. And then I shuffle my deck. And his Vanguard skill, during your turn when your G unit stride and pay the cost. If you do, look at 4 cards, call 1, shuffle deck, +2 the card you called. Next is 2 copies of Golden Holy Sword Gurguit. Honestly, this has really quickly become my favorite grade 3. And I didn't like him at first. I actually preferred the original Gurguit, but I actually prefer it now. His skill is GB2 when you're in Unite. All your rear guards get intercept, even from the back row. And his Vanguard skill, flip 1, soul blast 1 when you have a grade 4 on Vanguard. Pay a cost. If you do, look at 4 cards, Spirit Call 1. If that unit has Unite, you look at top 1, you Spirit Call the next unit rested. That's grade 3s. Now let's go on to grade 2s. I play 2 copies of Holy Mage Elio, for the main reason just being early rush. His skill is not GB restricted, and it only works on rear guard, which is why it's good to have an extra grade 2 like this one in your hand. His skill is flip 1, put this unit into soul. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you have pay cost. If you do, look at top 3, Superior Call 1, and then put the rest to the bottom of your deck in any order. Next is 3 copies of Holy Mage Quill. Quill's skill is at GB1 on rearguard. Flip 1 when this unit attacks a Vanguard. If this unit's boosted, you pay a cost. If you do, look at top 3 cards, Spirit Call 1, and then shuffle the deck. Next is 3 copies of Night of the Daylight Canarius. Canarius's skill is on rearguard and Unite. If you have if I have a Gurguit on my Vanguard circle, it gets +4k. And this is its second skill at GB1. Here's a card from my hand, discard it when this unit's placed on rear. I pay the cost. If I do, I look at top 3 cards from the top of the deck, call a card from among them to rear guard, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. Last grade 2, it is 4 copies of Night of Sunny Day Salonius. He was just introduced in the Vanguard GZ series, right? And as I said before, it's after bt13, so that's why I added it. His skill is in Unite. If you have a grade 4 Vanguard with Gurguit in its card name, all my units, every single unit on the field, gets +2k. and it's continuous. So if you call more, that unit also gets 2k. And his second skill on rear guard is at the beginning of the guard step that your Vanguard, like let's say your Vanguard Gurguit is attacked, you can put this unit into soul, look at top 2 cards from deck, and they automatically are called to the Guardian Circle. It's a pretty cool skill. Definitely helps in certain situations. Now it's one of the grade 1s. We're going to start with PGs. Holy Mage Lavinia. This card's a nullifier or perfect guard, and I think it's great because with all the calling you're doing in this deck, its skill is when you call it from deck, you can place another one of your rear guards back to deck, and this card at the end of the turn is going to pop back into your hand. So it's a good, like, with all the calling you're doing, it's a good thing to get back in your hand, because just in case of next attacks. Next is Holy Mage Alicia. This is a good card, another good PG as well. I have an SP, so I'm gonna put that at this. You know, SPs are cooler. Personally, this is a good card, but I don't use the skill as much because I don't feel like sometimes I just don't have the situation where I need to use this. But its skill is at Unite, choose one of my rear guards and put it to the bottom of the deck, and this unit gets plus 15k. So it stops being a PG, and it gets a card, like if you just need like another 5k card to make it like a 3-pass, this is a good card if you don't have another 5k or 10k. So it's like just there to help. Next, I play 3 copies of the Stride Fighter Dawning Knight Gurguit. I cannot say this guy's name. Whatever. He's a Stride Fighter, so when he's in your hand, you need to Stride. He gets plus 2 grade, so he's pretty much a grade 3 in your hand, which is helpful because if you don't have a grade 3 in your hand and you need to Stride, he's always there. And I used to play 4, but I have a friend of mine, or a teacher pretty much, who taught me the game, Noel, told me not to play this, to play 4 of it, so I decided to knock it down to 3. His skill is, and like if you don't have a Gurguit in your hand, you use a skill, you call him to rear guard, you reveal to your opponent a grade 3, and you search your deck for a Gurguit, and then you discard a card from your hand. Next is 3 copies of Knight of Morning Light Horsa. His GB1 skill in Unite, when another unit is placed on rear guard, choose one of your other units in the same column as this unit, and that unit and this unit get plus 2k. So let's say you call 4 units, that's 2, 4, 6, 8k to the entire column, and like combined, it's 16k to the column. Like let's say you call 1 unit here, and you have 2 units already here, which one of them's him, then that unit and this unit get plus 2k. Next is 4 copies of Knight of Insulation Carinus. I just got this guy yesterday, so I haven't learned his name completely yet. But his skill is, if you have a Vanguard with the Unite ability, this unit gets Resist on rear guard. And his GB1 Unite skill on rear guard is rest this unit like this. Sorry. Alright, you would rest this unit and choose one of my units, and that unit gets plus 4k at the end of the turn. And if you have a Vanguard with Gurguit in its card name, choose one of your rear guards with a different card name as this unit, and you might put it to the bottom of your deck. If you do, I draw a card and countercharge. It's helpful for cards in hand and countercharging. That was my last grade 1, and now we're going to grade 0. First grade 0 is one of my stand triggers, Gigantic Ringer. I only play 2 because I don't feel like it's necessary to play others more than 2. His skill is put this unit to the top of the deck when another unit is placed on rear guard from deck. And if I pay the cost, I shuffle my deck and draw 1 card. The unit that was called by another unit's skill. The other unit that was called from deck gets 5k because of his skill. I hope that made sense. My next stand is Player of the Holy Pipe Jerry. His GB1 Unite skill is this unit gets plus 3k, and until at the end of the battle, so once unit attacks, this unit can go to soul and I'd countercharge. Next are my critical triggers. I play 2 Scarface Lions. I'm thinking about putting it to 3 or 4. I'm not sure yet. But this unit's skill is put this unit to soul when your Vanguard attacks. If you have a Vanguard with Gurguit in its card name, you're going to pay the cost. If you do, I draw 1 card, choose one of my Vanguards, and it gets plus 5k until the end of battle. It's good to have for more power and extra hand. My next critical is Flame of Victory. This guy's pretty much a basic critical trigger, just put this unit into soul, plus 3k to any gold paladin unit. It's helpful in the fact that if you just need a little more to break through your opponent's shield, he's there, and it's good, it's decent in, like, playing. Next is 4 copies of Elixir Liberator. Her skill is Soul Blast when this unit is discarded from hand for a cost of calling True Liberator of Healing Elise from the G zone. If the number of face-up cards in your damage zone is 1 or less, you're gonna pay the cost. If you do, I countercharge. I will be replacing her for the new heal trigger. Next is the Stride Zone, last part. I have 1 copy of Mixed Element Colburn. I use him because his skill's good in the sense that it's gonna get you it's good for decks that have a lot of hand by the end of the turn. So it's not good against like Brave, because they go off having a low hand. His skill is I discard 1 card, and when this unit is placed on G Guardian during your turn, your opponent attacks, you're gonna pay the cost. If I do, it gets plus 5k for every 2 cards. So let's say your opponent has 6 cards, he's getting plus 15 shield. So it's good in that sense. Next is Golden Beast Slamy Flare. This guy's good in a lot of defense. Like, he gets pretty much the job done when I need it to. His skill is you place him on Guardian Circle, and I put one of my rear guards to the bottom of deck. I look at top 5, superior called 2 units from different grades. In this sense, I usually get like a grade 0 and a grade like 1 or 2, so it's helpful in that sense. This is True Liberator of Healing Elise. You saw this pretty much helps out with this. Their skills combined make a good combo. Her skill is at GB1, flip 1. You have to flip up a G unit, but sometimes you really don't need another G unit, because like these 3 are probably the most important G units I have, because they all have good abilities. The other G unit I have is kind of just for the flip up, and if I need it, I can use it, but it's not as like required. Its skill is when she's placed on G Guardian, flip 1, flip up a G Guardian, and you look at top 2 cards, spear call 1, and if this card is successful, that unit's called to rear guard. Next is Sacred Heaven Prayer Master Rhea. This is the card I said that I really wasn't gonna, like, it's there if I needed it, but I really don't need it as often. Its skill is when the unit is placed on G Guard, if I have 2 or more rear guards, it gets plus 5k to the shield. So it's not all that good, but it's there just in case. Next is 1 copy of Air Elemental Sea Breeze. This is good if your opponent's stuck at grade 2 and you have like an advantage over it because you get to stride. Its skill is you can put this on Vanguard, flip 2, choose a card in your hand, discard it. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard and the number of face-up cards in the G zone is 0, your opponent's Vanguard is stuck at grade 2, and no unit was placed on your opponent's Vanguard during the ride phase of your opponent's preceding turn, stride this card on your Vanguard and from face down. So pretty much what it's saying is if your opponent's stuck at grade 2 and he does not ride another grade 2, then you can use this. You can use this stride. Next is one copy of Golden Dragon, Scourge Point Dragon. I have it. I think I'm gonna take it out, but I have it for now because it's a good backup if I ever need it. It's good to take the. It's good if I have a lot of cards I can call from deck, because its skill is when another unit's placed on rear guard from deck, that unit and my Scourge Point get +5. It's good if I ever need it. Next is the GB8 for Gold Paladin, Golden Knight of Lynx, Celtis Winner. I don't use him very often because I usually win against people or lose before GB8. I only have it in case I do make it to GB8 and I can use it, but by that point I really don't have deck left to use it. Its skill is GB8 Unite. When this unit attacks, choose up to 4 of your rear guards, and those rear guards get at the end of the turn of the battle that this unit attacked or boosted. Look at 2 cards from top deck, spear call 1 card, and it gets +5. So for each, you get to pick 4 rear guards, and once they attack, you look at top 2, spear call 1, and the other unit that's boosted it, top 2, 1. So it's there. That's all I can say is it's there. Next, I have my SGR Sunrise Ray Radiant Sword Gurguit. I have 1 copy because he's not all that used often. But if I ever need him for power and I realize that they don't have much of a hand and they don't have a PG, then I can win. It's pretty much my game taker. Well, I'll win with this card if I need to, but I don't use it as often. Its skill is at GB2 Unite. Flip 1, Soul Blast 2. This unit gets +5k for each of your rear guards. Until the end of turn, choose 5 of your rear guards, and they also get 5k. And you can use it more than once because it's an act ability. It's good in that sense. I play 4 copies of Golden Dragon, Glorious Reigning Dragon. This is actually a really good card if you don't have a heavy field. If you don't have heavy field presence, it's good to be on the field because its skill is flip 1 when you're in Unite. Choose a face down card, so you pretty much flip up on him himself, and you send 2 units from your fields back to bottom of deck. Flip 1, and you'll get top 7. And depending on how many G units you have faced up, you can call as many units as face-up G units. And if you call 3 or more from deck, this unit gets the counter charge and soul charge. It's good when you don't have heavy field presence. Next is 2 copies of Master Swordsman of First Light Gurguit Helios. I'm planning on bumping him to 4, but for right now I only have him at 2. Because his skill is really good, because you don't actually need a counter charge or anything really. You just need to flip up 1 for himself, and he gets a plus drive. And at GB3, this unit gets 5k for all rear guards. And you cannot nullify this effect or call grade 2s to Guardian Circle from hand. So it's pretty much, if I don't use this guy to take the game, I'm using this guy. Next is 2 copies of Holy Sword of Heavenly Law Gurguit. I was told I'm supposed to use multiple, 4 of him for 6k boosting, because with this I can only get 2k to all rear. But with this guy, if I have 2 of him out on field like this, every unit's already getting 6k. So it's a good combo with him. His skill is Axe. You can only use this once per turn. Flip one. Choose a face down. So pretty much you flip one of him, and you flip a card in your damage zone. Drop one from hand, and all units get plus 2k when you're in Unite. And when this unit attacks, you can look at top 7 and Superior Call 1. It's basically, it's there for calling and power. It's good in that sense. Alright guys, I hope you like my deck profile. Oh, I'm trying to finish out a Blaster deck and a Liberator deck, not Bluish Flame. So I will try to have that by the end of January. So I'll see you guys soon. Sorry I haven't been online for a while, and I'll see you later. Red Lightning out.